Hey, family, welcome to another episode of the Saturday Sit Down, hosted by your two favorites, Miss Aaron Bull, and of course, my lovely co host, Miss Lovey, host of Live, Laugh, and Lovey podcast. And today we have a special guest. Okay. This is not only my cousin, but this is the future real estate mogul. Okay. Miss Justice Bull. Welcome to the show, Justice. Thank you for being
Hey,
here.
hey, nice to meet everyone. It's nice. I'm happy to be here. And let's talk real estate.
All right, we'll
All
get
right.
into
Well,
it in just a
just
moment.
all right. She ready.
Yes,
So,
always.
first of all, Miss Lovey, how was your week?
It was good. I had to think. You know, I'm old. I don't remember.
I do know you old. Busy, less busy, it's about the same busy. What are we doing?
It was a little less busy this week,
Hmm.
but busy nonetheless. Workout.
Oh, okay. All right. I saw the title of the video. I've been busy. I didn't even get a chance to watch it. I barely had a chance to watch the Shy and the Shy recap, which I did. Side note, y'all, the Shy is back. We are back doing recaps, so check out Live, Laugh, and Lovey for y'all that follow the Shy. It's looking good. Oh, yeah, season 4. We headed into episode 2
Mm-hmm.
coming up at midnight tonight on
Oh, it's
demand.
at midnight. I thought I was gonna look to see if it was out now.
Oh, I hadn't even looked. It might be.
Mm.
Justice, how was your week?
It was busy.
I think
It
that's
was
everyone's
so
answer.
busy. It
Right.
was between mothering and real estate, and also I'm dual career, so I also have another job that I work in insurance tracking, and is
Okay,
busy.
so pause. Wait a minute. Can we just embrace that dual career? You know, we normally say dual degree. I work 2 jobs. I work like a Hebrew slave. But look, us said, I'm dual career. Okay, then. Black girl magic. I love it.
Oh yes, dripping in it, dripping it. We gotta live
All
it.
right. And so your son is almost 1.
He's one. He'll be two August 30th.
Oh, wow, it's been that long?
Yes, Aaron. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
It,
My little cousin is 19 months or something like that. Like, okay, so are you
Listen, I say he's a year, and then it moves up when his birthday. I say 2 years. We ain't gonna do the
thank you.
months because for one,
Okay.
he looks two already.
Well, you look 3, so you know.
Well, he about bigger than me. Every time somebody sees him, they're like, "How old is he?" I say one, and they're like, "When does he turn two?"
So has
Okay.
anybody
Wow.
ever asked you, is that your little brother?
No, surprisingly, which is
Mm,
very surprising because I look like I'm like 12
You
yes.
do.
to say that I'm 27, and I've already graduated. I got my bachelor's degree, and then I went to real estate school. So it's I've looked 12 all my life. I've just accepted my fate at this point. And Aaron, we got those good genes, so it's only right. If somebody had a little old, I guess the universe said my son would, because
Okay. Black don't crack.
he
Lord, how are you, Aaron?
I'm yet holding on. Okay. She hate when I say that old Negro spiritual. But I mean, so today I'm refreshed, but it has been a long week. The week started out good and then it just went downhill. Like
oh goodness.
I had an employee quit. I have an employee on the fence. It's the life of a boss, as they say.
I was just about to say that.
Yes.
It's a lot of responsibility, but hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. So while everybody's got a 3-day weekend, I finally have 2 because I work 6 days a week. I work 6 days a week, so I will be working on Memorial Day, but it'll be in the evening. Oh yeah, yes.
How ain't nobody moving nothing?
I got to get ready for stuff to move on Tuesday because we close, but the night shift is working Monday, so the show must go on.
Okay, got it.
I ain't get no breaks. I do not get no breaks.
I know you don't.
My regular job is closed Monday, but my phone rings all the time. So like since I spoke with you, Aaron, earlier, I got like 4 new clients call my phone.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank
Hmm.
you. So it's like holidays. It doesn't matter. Real
Hey,
estate is like
if the
twenty four
phone calls
seven,
keep coming, the money keep coming. So come on in,
and
ring
we
my
like
phone.
commas. We
Where the money
do.
reside, where the money
Money
reside.
reside. Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk real estate since that is where the money resides. Okay. What are some things that we need to know if we want to get into buying a house? So a couple of situations to I guess kind of speak to.
Hmm.
Um, I'm getting ready to get married. At some point we want to look into getting a house. Uh
Yes.
we were kind of in that process a little bit, but we ran into too many stumbling blocks and hiccups and whatever. So we just put it on the back burner. We still gonna get it done, but it's not like a priority like it used to be. And then Lovey's looking to move into a house in the next
Like 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years.
Okay.
So I mean, it's an us there and it's a she there. So how can?
It might be a us down the line.
Oh, I mean, you and Goldie.
She
Okay,
be
all right.
thinking about.
Goldie ain't gonna help pay no mortgage though.
Oh goodness.
We just
Well,
speaking in the present. We speaking in the present.
the first thing is to just remember you start the process in your own time. Do not rush it if you don't feel comfortable. Do not, I mean, even if you speak with a real estate agent, you can just talk with them, about getting ready. You don't have to, say, well, I'm not going to talk to someone until I'm ready, because we can talk with you about getting you ready. Not all of my clients come in and are ready to buy, just buy a house. Some of them are working on credit. Some of them are, they have to get their approval letter from the lender. And it's, I try to tell them, we need to know where you are, and then we're going to get you where you need to be. So, just give yourself time, because the person that is hardest on you is you. Because the thing is, once you figure out credit is always is a working number. It's not always going to be the same. It's not going to always be low. It's not always going to be high. It changes over time. So just because you're low right now doesn't mean 3 to 6 months from now that it's going to be low. And you have to think about it as it goes up as credit is available to you. So if you open that credit card, even if you pay it off, leave it open, because that's money available to you. They're looking at it. That's available to you. So keep in mind that if you have any open accounts, bank accounts, credit cards, anything along that lines, loans that you went and and you paid them off, but they're still open, it's you want to keep those open, because if you close them, it's going to hurt your credit. That's number one that I've run into lately. Like, people are like, well, I paid it off, so I'm gonna close it. Do not close it. Keep it open. It can just, you can keep it at 0 and still keep it open. And that's available to you. That's going to help your score. Now, once you get your score in place, the next step is going to be speaking with the lender. When you speak with the lender, you're going to talk with them about, what type of loan, because there's different types of loans. You're going to talk with them about what you need to do to get ready to get approved. And once you get that approval, then the third step is you speak with, well, you can speak with us ahead of time, before the whole process of speaking with the lender or getting your credit right. Because, of course, like I said, I'm working with people who are working there. It's a working process. So just keep in mind that once you do that, once you get an approval letter, we can go look at a house. But you don't want to, the thing that I'm running into lately is people are, coming to me, and it's completely fine that we need to work on things, but they're coming to me and they're like, I want to look at this house. But we can't look at that. We can look at the house, but at this market right now, because it's a buyer's market. Well, actually, excuse me, it's a seller's market right now, and it's because People, there are more people buying homes than are selling that are available. So you might look at that house, but you don't have that approval letter. They're not even going to consider. You can't even put in an offer without the approval letter. So the thing that you have to also keep in mind is there's steps. So, give yourself time. Also keep in mind time is of the essence. So, if you're dragging around, I can't do anything, the lender can't do anything, we can't do anything if you're not doing anything. So,
Mhm.
keep in mind that everything that you do is counting. When you meet with us, when you're working on your credit, when you speak with the lender and they tell you what you need to do, actively work on these things and we can get you in your dream home.
So, how much does student loans play a part?
Oh, if you if you talk to and student loans they can play a part in your credit, but honestly, you can get student loans removed from your credit. You really can. It's just you have to, either you can speak with the credit specialist because I can't, confirm how to do it as far as, getting your loans removed, but it's possible. It's very possible to get your loans removed from your credit. But if you speak with someone, usually you can work out actually, getting it off. But my biggest thing with student loans, because I have them from when I got my bachelor's degree, is that if you are on a payment plan, pay them. Keep them active. Keep them active and pay them. Even if you have to defer them, don't let them go where it's like negative and it just looks like you're not paying. You're not calling to check on it. You're not calling to actively like work on it, because if it looks like you're not trying or you're not caring about that, then it's gonna go negative. It's gonna be in your negative payments on your credit score. So like if you're not calling and say, hey, I need, to defer this, or I need time to pay this. When you give them that, then that gives them time to put it on hold where it won't look like you just didn't pay it.
Okay. Okay. Then my
Now,
oops, sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, this the topic right here. We got questions. So yeah, you said a lot, and I was trying to be respectful, and now I forgot half my questions, but it's okay. So with the
Or
student
you, my
Oh,
loan,
cousin.
one thing is that like that because I have active student loans. V has
Mm-hmm.
defaulted student loans.
Mm-hmm.
We're working to get his out of default. However, what they have said is that basically because those are government loans, um,
Mm-hmm.
that because we owe the government, they can't do anything for us.
Mm. I would suggest talk to, just because I'm not, I would like to look into, helping people with their credit. Like I fixed my own, but I'm not a specialist. I fixed mine and I fixed my father's, but my dad didn't have any loans. So, it's when it comes to that, I would say see if you can speak with a credit specialist. Like, there's no shame in trying to get help with it. So definitely, speak with someone and see what needs to be done to get those removed, or see what you can do about them, especially because again you said you're looking within the next couple of years. That gives you time. You're in your own time frame, so while you're working on it, and you can be working on that while you're getting ready. You're in the getting ready process right now.
Now, when it comes to dealing with a credit specialist, do you have any tips on finding a legitimate credit specialist? Because it seems like there are just pop up credit specialists everywhere. Like you get off the expressway, you see credit repair and phone numbers and things like that. It pops up on your timeline. You got Facebook friends that are credit specialists, and we know everybody ain't doing it. And obviously, nobody's doing it for free. So
Hmm.
before we invest our money, we want to be able to vet those potential credit specialists. Um,
Hmm.
Now, because like for my credit, I know what's on it and what I need to address, and I'm pretty much like working on a lot of things at the same time. Now, in
Hmm.
V's case, he just had some like old stuff, and then issue was that he didn't have, but so much like current credit. you know. So we did actually go to a credit specialist and went through that process. You know, we paid her X amount of dollars, and we don't really know what we got
What happened?
for it. You know, now some things did fall off. However, I also know that they don't really have a trick. All they do is the work that we want. Like just send a regular
Yes,
basic dispute letter or you know, just challenge it, and sometimes it just falls off because the companies fail to respond within that time frame.
the 180 days.
Yeah, or
Usually for
whatever it
medical
is.
bills and things. Yeah, usually it's 180 days. But some things, if you've ever been a part, I know from me working on my own, I don't know if you've ever been on like one of the apps, like, some people use Credit Karma. I wasn't a too big fan of Credit Karma because it is, but, and I'm not going to really speak too much, of it, but I wasn't too much of a fan because when I would go places, they would say like they didn't like how it worked, and they would say the score wasn't where it should have been. So I went through Experian Boost, the app. I didn't actually use Boost. I actually just used the free version of the app,
Hmm.
and you can dispute things yourself. I mean, it's just you just click a few buttons, just click a few buttons and dispute it. They'll have an answer to you. I think it's 10 days that they go through and they research it, and then they just remove it from your credit.
Mm.
It's just so, like you said, they a lot of times they are doing things that we won't take the time to do. So, and it is, like I say, it's a work in progress. So, as things happen, you need to be looking into them. And just keep in mind, it's a lot of dates, it's a lot of paying on time, and it's a lot of and if say a collections is on there, usually collections can settle, or you can just get them removed, especially if you don't know what it is. You can
Okay.
just get it removed. But I would say if you want to actually speak to someone about, working on your credit, especially for the reason of your interest in actually buying a house, if you want to actually go and actually start speaking with like either a lender or a real estate agent, we usually have connections to these to or people that we work with that we know are legitimate. So
Okay.
if you that would be my suggestion. If you want to just speak with someone, you don't have to give. One thing that I was told when I brought my car last year is your information is power. You don't have to give your information. You don't have to give your social security number to anybody to talk with them. That's when you give them your power. Because if say you give your social security number to a car salesman, they're gonna run it like 30 times. And all you did was look at the car. You didn't agree to nothing. You didn't get nothing. But somehow when you looked at your credit, you had two or three hard inquiries, and hard inquiries stay on there for 2 years. So
Mm.
that's another thing to keep in mind. You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
go
Go ahead,
ahead.
Levy, because I know you had a question before mine.
Yeah, so for those who are like myself, I don't have a traditional 9 to 5, but I do work. Is it possible for someone like myself to purchase a home?
Yeah, definitely so. As long as you can show like income. Do you have your own, like, did you go the route of like owning your own business? Do you work for yourself?
Kind of, sort of. I work
Okay.
under someone. I'm a contractor.
Okay. Well, I'm a contractor as an agent. So when I am my own business, even though I work for a brokerage, I'm my own business. So it's if you said you contract out, you should still be able to do it as long as you can show that you were working, even though it's not a 9 to 5, it's still a job. Like, as long as you can show consistent work, and you can show that you were actively doing something, you should be fine.
Okay. Cool beans. Cool.
Was
Yeah.
that all your questions, Levy?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Because I know, because okay, we family. So if you don't, hey, I gotta invite you in like this double
Hmm.
dutch now, because you got bull and bull, honey, and you in the middle. So just hey, hey. So what did V tell me to ask? Do you have any suggestions or recommendations about like investment properties? Like if you're looking to get into just I don't know necessarily flipping houses,
Hmm.
but anything like that, because a lot of people get into it with no money.
Well, when it comes to getting into investing, a lot of people take the route, and that I'm learning, are taking the route because I want to do that as well. A lot of people are doing where they would do like a FHA loan. FHA loan is different from a conventional loan because you only have to have 3% down. The catch is you have to live in a home for about 1 year or for a year before you can sell it or do anything else with it. Now, a lot of people, what they're doing is buying like multifamily, so duplexes or townhome, just they'll buy something where, and I'm sorry y'all, my light just got weird, but
It's okay.
they'll buy multifamily, and basically what a lot of people are doing is they'll live in like one unit, and I believe you can get up to 4 units if like you do a multifamily. And basically you live in one unit, you rent out the others, and you live in it for a year, and then basically if you want to move on to getting another loan, you can do it, but it's going to be after that year. You have to live in it a year, then you can rent it out. The thing that I've learned, period, about real estate and buying homes, and this is from my regular job as well, is we as like young people I always thought before I started working um in insurance tracking, and before I became a real estate agent, I always thought that people were just out here, I don't know, just buying homes. Like I thought they owned all these homes. Like a person would call in and they'd be like, I got 8 houses. And I'll be like, they own all these homes. What they did was they brought a home, they rented it out, they got a bigger home, they rented it out, they brought more houses, or they got to the point where they could buy multiple things. And it's because most times when people are renting these homes or renting a home, the rent is way higher than the mortgage payment. So
Hmm.
their
Of
mortgage
course.
payment is like $600. They charging you 1,200, or they charging you 1,400. You're paying their mortgage for that house and their new house,
Hmm.
Yep.
and it's and it's all because we didn't know the information. That's it. Information is always power, and that's in my 27 years, that is the biggest lesson I've ever learned. Information is power. If you don't know, then you don't know what to do. But once you know, you
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 can
know.
do.
know.
That's a good question from
So
V.
yeah, so V's asking, what about foreclosure properties and what's a good route to go with that?
I heard you got to go through a lot of hoops with that. I have a friend who bought a
Mm.
foreclosed home. It's a lot.
It's it can be it can be difficult. I've definitely been interested in before. It's foreclosure. They give them time to see if they want it back. When it comes to foreclosures, and when it comes to, um, let's see, I'm trying to think. If you get a title through like a tax auction, I want to say, like if say someone doesn't pay taxes on their home, that too, they give them usually a year to pay it. So it's like you already said, oh yeah, I want this, but you can't do anything with it till they figure out whether they want it or not during that year. And then if they don't do anything, then it's yours, to pay on and everything. But if you pay something, it's paid something, and then they say, hey, they want to go ahead and keep it, then you just get your money back.
Mm,
So
Yeah,
usually,
I had a friend who he still has the home, but
mhm,
when he purchased it, it was like a old, I don't want to say a trap house, but It was
It
where,
was a trap house. Okay.
yeah. So it was a lot of pharmaceuticals
Oh,
things going
okay.
on in the house, right?
Oh, so it
And
wasn't a trap house. It was a pharmaceutical dispensary.
that too,
Okay.
right?
See?
And so when he went to go purchase it, he had to jump through a lot of hoops to prove that that's not what he was planning to do with the house. And that went
Mm.
on for like, I want to say for like a year. And then, finally, they let him do, oh, okay, we see, you want, even though he had a really good job, a 6-figure job, but, he still had to go through those hoops. So,
It can also be what type of, like, if you're buying a home with, like, depending on what type of loan you got, it might be a little bit more like strict on what you can do. Like if you get like a FHA loan, um, they're very strict on, like, certain things, like whenever you buy your house, um they'll, you go through an inspection, and things like, if the paint's chipping, you got a porch, no rails, or no, like, side piece on the side, like things like that, they won't pass, the inspection. And so a lot of people don't want to do the changes that they have to do, for you to actually be able to get that home. So that does, it's all, you need to look at, the different types of loans to see which one you actually want to get, you know, approved for as well, because conventional isn't as strict. So sometimes you might run into a situation where you put in an offer for a home, and that actual seller might choose someone who has a conventional loan over someone who has a FHA loan. Excuse me, FHA loan. And that's
mhm.
because it has restrictions. They want you to, if something wrong, they want you to fix it.
Right,
And they might not want to fix it. So they chose the person who had a conventional loan where they didn't have to fix it.
right,
And another thing is, whenever you're going into these contracts, you want to make sure if there's something you want fixed, you need to make that very apparent before you sign some paperwork. Because you can't sign, so yeah, I'm going to buy the house, and then be like, oh, wait, I want you to fix this. You need to put all that on the table at the beginning.
right. I watch a lot of House Hunters, so yeah, I've learned that one.
Oh, I live on TV. I live on it. I
So
do.
V is asking, is it true that you can go to the Chamber of Commerce and find a list of foreclosed properties?
It is true. You
Okay.
definitely can. You can do that, and then when it comes to the auctions, they'll tell you when the auctions is. Usually, I think for South Carolina is in like October, but they'll tell you when, like, the auctions are for, like, the year, especially for the tax. Those who went into, like, have a tax lien on it. I know those go in. I want to say they go. Um, they do it once a year usually,
Hmm.
where they auction them off for the tax. And the thing with the tax lien, the tax liens is, if you pay some, okay, this is the thing. So if you do, it was interesting when I found out. So if somebody doesn't pay the taxes on their home, and it goes into like a tax lien, if you pay the taxes on it, and that year passes and you get that home, whatever lien if they had any other lien on there, doesn't apply to you.
Hmm.
That's still their debt. It
Hmm.
doesn't come to you. It's your house. You have the house. They still got the debt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you learn. That's why I was like, information is very important, that we, as young people, stay informed, because we're missing out on
She said
stuff.
young people.
Young people, y'all young too, y'all
Yeah.
young too.
Okay. Well, it's about
Okay,
10 years between me and you, and about 10 years between me and her. So
Whatever.
y'all
It
don't
is
look
what?
it.
not 10.
Two of three.
It
Two
is not
out of
10.
three.
It is
About.
not
I
10.
said about. About as close. But about means almost.
You could have said 5.
Roundabout. It's not five. It's not five.
Well, I'm gonna mind my business over here. I'm not in this.
Yeah. Yes, you stay in a child's place. This grown folks talking
Yes,
about
I'm gonna
stuff.
stay. Look. I look like one. It's okay. Look, I'm minding my business over here because I was like, oh no, see, we don't get in arguments about ages. We let y'all have those. Mm-mm.
All right. So,
Mm-mm.
well, thank you so much for those tips on the real estate. I mean, that was definitely interesting, and thank you for being our first professional guest on the show.
Well, you're
We've
welcome.
had other guests that just had ideas and thoughts, but you are the first one to come from a, like I said, from a professional standpoint. So hopefully, we'll have more guests like you, and you're definitely welcome to come back. But now we'll move into the conversational portion of the show.
Okay.
All right, Miss Lovey, what we talking about today, boo?
Uh,
She
oh.
said you put her on the spot.
She 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 knows she acting sleep. She was trying to figure out how to get that house.
Yeah. We were talking about why are people still moving to Atlanta?
Yes, and is Atlanta still the place to move? Like, we full. Why y'all here?
Right, exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
okay. So, in my opinion, I think that a lot of the attraction that it used to be is now kind of not worldwide, but nationwide. Like a lot of the things that drew people to, because it used to just be Atlanta, Houston, New York. You know, now you have a lot of those same things, whatever the music, the arts, all of that kind of stuff. You have that nationwide now. So why y'all still coming here? The Olympics have been and gone. We got the poor little old Falcons that try to rise up and fall flat often. The Hawks made it to the playoffs for the first time in five
Awesome.
Look
years.
at her
Mind
face
you, watch
though.
your mouth.
Lovey was like, wait.
Watch your mouth. Okay. I don't want to look, and I'm rolling through this so she don't jump in and throw her salt all on my wounds. You
She
know what
was
I mean?
her face was like, wait a
So,
minute.
and then you got the Braves who can make all the home runs in the world, but ain't brought a pennant home since when? Okay, next. But nevertheless, and I don't know if it's just me because I'm older now, but like Aliens are not doing what y'all coming to Atlanta to do.
No, Atlanta is definitely not this city. It's no longer a young city, like a city for young people. At least in my eyes. I mean, because when I came, I was your age, Justice. I was 27. So it was a whole boatload of things to do for the younger crowd. Whereas
Right.
now, they don't have that anymore. That's why there's so much melee going on in the streets these days. Because
That's
they
why they
don't have
stealing
any.
stuff from airports, stealing what Rolls Royces from airports, and stealing Acons, Land Rover from
What?
The gas
I missed
station.
that.
yeah, in Buckhead.
Mhm.
Wow.
Ludacris got his what was it? His Rolls Royce too. Stolen from the ATM. First of all, fool, why you leave it running? This is still Atlanta. But nevertheless, proceed. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so it's not. There's not a whole lot for people to do. It's changed. And because I just found out a couple of days ago that like one of my classmates is here. She just moved the other day, and then there's two more coming in the next couple of months. So I was thinking to myself, why?
Like I told Aaron, I was there. What was it in 2019, Aaron?
Mhm.
Was I there? It was 2019. I was there for about 3 months because I did like a test run. I was lucky. My best friend already lived there. And so she was living in Clarkson. And she was like, best friend, just try it out. And I was pregnant. I was like, I want to say I was like 6, 7-ish months pregnant when I went. And I just, went and just jumped out and went and stayed with her, and it was different. And of course I'm from a small town in South Carolina, so it was already different in the first place. But for me, I went there thinking, like you said, you think of it as one way, and then you get there and it was different, and a lot of things that you think is going to bother you don't bother you, and then there's like these other things. that happened.
So, V, yes, you are absolutely correct. It's not like it's Boca Raton, but it's definitely not the lively city that it once was.
And to me, like the people that really partying in the city ain't from here. They're
Do
not
people
from
Okay.
still
here,
party in the city though?
according
Yeah.
to the radio,
Oh,
according to
apparently,
Facebook. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm from here. I
apparently
don't
they
know.
do. Apparently they do. I'm not one. I was never. When I was there, I was very much pregnant. The best I did was I went to. I think that's when I went to the millennials. The oh my gosh, the millennials tour. Yeah, don't judge me. I'm a youngie. I'm only 27, but my best friend paid for both of us to go, and I was pregnant. And y'all, I left there. I had no voice. I, I was dancing, I was screaming, I was hollering for Omarion, and that man is a fine specimen. He
That's
is.
a boy. That is a boy.
I look, listen, it's a man to me,
Okay, well, okay.
but he's a fine specimen. He is. So I was
Lord
screaming, I was hollering,
Jesus.
and I was here for it. But like, other than that, like when I lived there, I didn't really, honestly, I went shopping. That was it.
But you know what? Even thinking back, like when we would have our clubs, like Visions was my spot. Oh my God. I used to go so much that people used to recognize me.
Well, you're kind of memorable.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard not to know the flyest chick in a wheelchair, but
All right. Dime
um,
on wheels.
right. So, but I remember how we would have our set of clubs like 112, Visions. Um, what's the, you know,
559. I know you never went to 559. That was beneath you. I know. So I wasn't a clubber. I
no,
was a
wait.
parking lotter.
Oh
A
Lord.
parking
But
lot. Wait a minute. We
wait.
got
But wait. So, but I also understood that there were clubs for the uh like my age now,
Mhm.
because there was a Taboo,
Yeah.
there was the Crow's Nest,
Oh, sure enough. Grown
there,
folks.
right, and then there was another club off of Glenwood.
I don't remember the one off of with Mr. ATL himself. He might be
It
asleep.
was down the street from the flea market.
Phew.
I got
I know
stuck
you
at
had
Crow's
Chit Chat
Nest. I
over
was like,
there.
Crow's Nest.
I think Chit Chat was an older club, or well, it's our age now, but to us at the time when it was really
Right. It was
popping.
like, ooh, I don't want to be with the sugar daddies. But there were clubs for all demographics.
That's
Whereas
true.
now, they don't have that. What, they got the U bar?
Girl, bye.
Right.
Literally the U bar is because it's you and the bar. That thing is tight.
I
Okay.
rem-
I don't
I
even know how they
remember.
open in quarantine.
Tangeray. Yes.
See?
Yes.
See?
Yes. Yes.
Come through. I knew it was some old school in here.
Y'all, I remember before I did a little test run with my best friend. I want to say I can't remember. I was in college. I
It was two
came.
years ago you was in college, but go ahead.
No, honey, I've been out of college for four.
Oh,
Uh,
long time.
it's a long time for me in my little short span of life. But it was. I want to say I don't know. It might have been like 6 years ago because I was with my ex, and like we went for New Year's. Now
You went out on New Year's?
I did. It was I went. We came to Atlanta for New Year's. Now I don't remember much,
And you spent,
but
Oh.
I mean, well,
it was.
guess you had a
Atlanta
good
will do
time.
that.
It was. I had
Exactly.
that was a good time. New Year's was a good time. The peas drop. Like I can't. I remember
We don't
there was
even have a
wings.
peach drop anymore.
See that what I'm telling you is it had to be
See,
some
she
years
the
ago.
reason why we don't have the peach drop. And then
Well, I
the
don't know the
other
reason.
thing,
Let's deliberate.
but
What happened?
also one of the things is, I guess nowadays it's really not even safe to be in large crowds because like
Mm-mm.
that used to be the thing for us. Like we used to go where the people would go. We had Freaknik where you would park on the expressway. You could jump from car to car. Not that I did, but I heard you could. Okay, but you
I
could go
saw the
from car
videos.
to car, or what I'm saying, just walk up the expressway, drink what you want to, smoke what you want to, twerk what you want to, whatever you wanted to do, and make it back to your vehicle and make it back home by 6 in the morning. Okay, that's just what I heard. Okay, just saying. I
6 in the morning.
look,
Yeah, I've been old soul all my life.
uh, child. Oh, okay. I'm not about to. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I was
You
not
and I.
out
You ain't.
in
You
any
almost
part of my
30
life
years.
at 6 in the morning.
But we used to go, and then we had like the Battle of the Bands. You had obviously Freaknik birthday bash every year. What was it for Sisters Only?
Hmm.
Just events that drew crowds and they
The
were
car
safe.
show.
The car
Hmm.
show, car and bike show, all of that. And like now, that's a target for me to avoid. Like, oh, car and bike show is this weekend. Stay away from that area.
Mm.
It's not the same level of safety. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that too. I mean, partly we feel like that now because that's not our demographic. That's not who it necessarily caters to. But I'm sure that our parents looked at events in the 90s, early 2000s, and was like, oh no, I'm not going down there. But we knew how to party.
Yeah.
We knew how to act right. Okay, we're going to party from 1 in the afternoon till 1 in the afternoon the following day. Bet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you are right, V. It is what you make of it. But if there's nothing to do now, okay, let me say this. Atlanta is still a city that pops. It's a lot better than, I would say, California, the Bay Area, shall I say. Because in the Bay Area, and I don't know if it's still like this, but I know back in the day, nothing would hardly come to California. I mean, there would be shows that would come, but nothing on the scale of how it was here. You know automatically somebody going on tour. Atlanta is one of their markets. They're coming
Mhm.
here. Whereas in the Bay, mm-mm, mm-mm, it wasn't like that. Or you again, we party until 1 in the afternoon till 1 in the afternoon the following day. Everything is closing by 2 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
Bet. You want to get last call for alcohol is 1:45. 2 o'clock, the lounge is over. And
Oh,
you in the
that's
bed
here.
by 4 o'clock.
Mm.
Here, South Carolina. Yeah.
So, I always that was one of the reasons why I liked it, because you can leave the house at midnight, 1 o'clock, and still go out and have a really good time in the last few hours. Because first of all, who going to the club at
At
10,
8
11
p.m.
o'clock? Right. You
Except
know?
for broke people because they're trying to get in for free because they ain't got the money to pay the cover. But go ahead.
Well, shoot, back in the day, women could get into the club for free. You
Yeah.
Yep.
just have to worry about paying for parking.
Yeah. That's how they get you. That's the catch. Like
Right.
it was free, not free. Okay.
Right. You ain't gotta pay $20 to get through this threshold. But you gonna pay $20 to get over the threshold to get into this parking lot. So I don't know. And then housing. Housing is expensive here.
Mhm.
Because in my line of work, I deal with rental rates for apartments. Nowadays, definitely not what it used to be, but a one-bedroom apartment, a decent one-bedroom apartment, is starting off at, I would say, 1,100.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
My
And
best friend went looking. It was, yeah.
mm-hmm. And look at your face. Yes,
Yeah. It hurt in
ma'am.
pockets.
And that's in a decent area. You might go into, like she was saying in Clarkson, you might go into an area that's less than stellar.
It's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, that's right. We say interesting. And you might pay 900 something. That's
Mhm.
the base.
Mm.
But with your utilities and stuff added on, It's you into the thousands now. But I've seen 2-bedroom apartments being the cost of someone's mortgage. So, like
Mm-hmm.
she was saying, it's a seller's market because it's just ridiculous. It's high. It's expensive here.
Hmm.
So, I why what traffic is worse.
I came back. I
Traffic is
came back home.
horrible. Traffic is bad. It's like California bad.
I mean,
It
but
didn't bother
it's
me.
been bad for last 10 years.
Nah, it's gotten worse. You have to admit it has gotten progressively worse. When it gets to the point where 285 is always backed up because you could always bank you could always guarantee 75, 85. Yeah, that's you gonna catch some traffic. But 285?
Well, 285 had its little pockets where you would run into it, and generally it's right around the where the other interstates cross it, and definitely up towards the north side, 400, all of that. That was always going to be there. I mean, I'm not actually on 285 as often as I used to be. I take 20 to and from work. I almost never run into traffic on 20. 20 is still a straight shot.
Yeah, 20 is always it's generally a straight shot because I will usually take 20 whenever I'm out and about. But for the most part, 285 is usually my go-to because it's right here. But mm-mm, I
And
don't know.
It
it's gonna get thick around Camp Creek. And Camp Creek is at a standstill. And they built some little. Have you been to Camp Creek lately?
Hmm.
Where they built the little whoop de woo, like the "Why did you do this?" Like this does not help flow anything.
It is. It actually is because whenever I'm in Gwinnett and I'm getting off of like on Pleasant Hill and I think of Steve Reynolds, it makes sense. Like even in the perimeter area by the mall, it does a crossover. So yeah, it makes sense.
Hmm,
You're just not used to it.
I'm not.
the the traffic didn't bother me. Like as the South Carolinian that came to Atlanta, I did it. The traffic didn't bother me. For me, it was the accidents. Like
Oh
there
yeah,
was
that too, honey. Can't
accidents
nobody drive. Lord Jesus, nobody can
everywhere.
drive.
My
If
best
it's
friend.
sunny, if it's sunny, they can't drive. If it rained yesterday, they can't drive today. If snow is coming next week, there's going to be an accident today. Okay. If it's just slightly windy, it's going to be an accident. The perfect driving temperature is 78.9 degrees. Okay. If it hits 80, accidents. If it's
Hell, if your
chilly,
car is
accidents.
parked,
Accident.
if your car is parked, that literally happened to me last week. How, ma'am? How?
What she asked you, has it always been there?
Talking about, did you have that dent in your car?
Not till you hit
Oh
it.
no.
My little corner is crunched in. That ain't a dent, ma'am. No, 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 no.
She tried to be
Oh
polite, like,
no.
"Oh, it's just a dent."
Oh no. But my best friend when cuz she grew up here. Well, she's from Georgia, but she grew up here. So like when she went back, and that's the one I was staying with, the first week she was there, she got in an accident. She got hit in the back
That's what
because
happened
the
to me
person who hit her in the back was looking at an accident.
too. That is what happened to me too. I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
Yes, apparently, like, yeah, they had a whole accident afterward looking at an accident. It's just, I was like, wow, yeah, it is serious out there. Now, the
it
last time I
is.
went, and now I'm not going to say, I just remember the last time I went to go see my god baby with her, I passed the car and it had like gunshots in the back windshield. I was like, wait a minute, like,
Welcome to Atlanta.
what
But
is going on here?
that's been going on a lot everywhere. Cause
Road
I
rage
road
or
A lot.
rage and just people just randomly shooting on the freeway. Cause I talked to a friend the other day and they were saying that that happened in the Bay Area. So the world is in a
People are different.
handbasket.
Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like it's not only that it's less to do in a lot of areas, but the people are different.
Yeah.
Um, it's just different altogether. So And then we're in a whole new world with COVID going on because people have been home. They may have lost that social button.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
already Some people have a people limit, so they were already there, and then I mean, it's true. Like, when I was younger, I wasn't always this happy go lucky, like, let's talk to people. Like, when I was younger, I had a people limit. I had
Okay.
I could be out, and then eventually I'll be like, all right, I want to go home and go lay in my bed. But I was never the
Social
club
butterfly.
person. I wasn't a club person. I was
Oh,
like
okay.
a cafe, live music.
Lounge.
I
Yeah.
was a,
Yeah.
I did like, I used to do spoken words. So like, I was that, jazz playing in the background. I'm sipping some coffee person, I'm eating a muffin to be exact,
Yeah,
or
I
some
got
cake.
you.
So I was always that person. So it's not that I wasn't like a social person. It's just I was a different type of social, I guess.
Yeah. So you wasn't a turn up. You was a chill out.
Yeah, I was ready to chill. I went. I used to like go and sit in on when I did my spoken word. It would be at open mics. So I would go to the open mic, and it would turn into someone playing instrument, and then it turns into a whole jazz band of people that don't know each other. I like stuff like that. That excites me. But me being hot in the middle of a lot of people, half
Yeah.
hungover, and it's
Oh,
smoky,
see, no,
it just
that's
never
never been
was.
my tea. No.
It was
Mm-mm.
never. That was not me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't. Now, when I went for that New Year's, like I said, it had to be some years ago because I didn't even know they stopped the peace drop. But when I went for New Year's that time, it was a mixed crowd. Everybody was having fun. Everybody was enjoying themselves. But again, people were different. And there's been at least half a decade. So people have changed. The world has changed.
Yeah.
But we gotta figure out something for these kids
And
to do because
I
they
kind
lose
of
their
wonder,
minds.
right? I wonder if it's I think it's a culmination of a series of events. Obviously, there are less hangout places, and I don't even know that to be true for sure. I just feel like there's less hangout places, but I'm not hanging out, and I'm not that age. So maybe we'd have to find somebody that age, like, hey, where y'all hang out at? What y'all do? But also the advent of social media, because back when we were turning up, we had to go hang out to hang out. We couldn't just pick up our phone unless we wanted to do the chat line or the party line or something like that, three-way at best. But to really turn up, we had to go out or to go to, we had house parties, things like that. And they were safe. Like, our parents just really worried about us being out late. I mean, and maybe somebody snatching us because we were girls, I mean, but
It doesn't even matter now. That's
yeah, right.
the scary thing. It doesn't even matter now. World's changed. It has changed. So you have to. I think there's a new layer of just protection that we have to worry about when it comes to everybody at this point.
Yeah.
Everybody's, kind of free game now. So it's like, you have to just be careful. I before I worked in real estate, and before I worked in insurance tracking, I worked for AT&T. And like I like to get to know my customers. So they would call, and I would be like, okay, I would talk to them, and while I'm trying to look at their phone bill, I would be asking them about where they lived. So like they would tell me, they would not sugarcoat anything. I'd be like, well, how about Louisiana? And they'll be like, it's okay, but don't like leave your drink anywhere. But I was like, that's everywhere. We
Right.
know, don't leave your drink anywhere. If you with a group, don't be leaving your group. We go to the bathroom in Paris with me. Nobody go alone. we
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
everybody got a partner, and we're taught that as women, but think it doesn't matter now, whether it's a woman or man.
Yeah,
So
cause you
the
got
guys
Cardi B
want,
out there drugging folks, but never
uh,
mind.
Stop
Lord,
it.
see, I'm not even.
That was her former self.
Oh, that was Balthazar or whatever.
That was what she used to do. People can change.
They
I'm gonna just
can.
leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it.
Don't
I
do
can't.
that.
I
Don't
can't
do
speak to
her
that
like
lady.
that.
Look, I can't speak to that lady past. I can't.
She said it was her past. That's her past.
Okay. It's her past.
But you have to be careful regardless, because like when I was, talking to people, they would be like, sometimes even the bartenders in on it, like dropping something in somebody's drink. You have to. I need to see my drink made. I don't need any counters involved. Let me look at it. Because like yeah, they would be like, when had that conversation, that was years ago, and I just still remember. The lady was like, sometimes you just don't let anybody bring you a drink. And that's everywhere. Again, everywhere. But she was like, they're throwing stuff into people's drinks from across the room, or the bartender is in on it. So just honestly, at this point, just be careful.
Mhm.
Just be careful altogether. Like,
But,
go ahead.
but I will say the upside, the good side of living here in Atlanta is that even though it is getting to be a little more expensive, it's still affordable.
Hmm.
And I'm sure this could be said for the southern region, as opposed to like
Everywhere
up
else.
north and back west. But it is affordable. You just have to look. Like I found this jewel that I'm in for an affordable price, so it's doable. But I don't know. But Atlanta has changed. It's just not the same
But it's home for me.
for you. Hmm.
For me. I have to specify because I know you trying to pack up your chair and go at some point. Where you gonna go?
she's she
What?
said you gonna leave her.
Yes. Where you gonna go? What's better than the A? Because if Atlanta has changed, everywhere else has changed. But Atlanta
I
is
mean,
still
everywhere
the
has.
greatest city on earth.
I could go to Vegas and live comfortably, and we'll be right next door to California.
Hmm. Well, okay. They got
It's on my list. I
$49
haven't been there
flight.
yet.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to Vegas either, but I don't.
The
Nah.
closest I was on the west side was I went to Arizona. I used to go to Arizona every year, and like I walked the Grand Canyon and stuff. But I didn't go to Cali, and I didn't go to Vegas, but they on the list.
Yeah, they on the bucket list. They on the to do list. Plus, I got to go to California and get some of Sharon's tacos. That's my auntie. That's her auntie that I've inherited from her.
No, I gotta go, and this might be the young people in me, but I'm going where I don't know if y'all ever watched Insecure, the show on HBO. No, no, okay. Well, I
Yes,
have, and
it
Yes,
they have
is.
a.
I
the
recap the
Dune.
show.
Oh, well, honey, listen, that is my show. I am so upset. It's ending. Oh my goodness! But they have the tour, like where you could go, where they like eat and like the music places and things. I want to do the tour, so I got to go to California so I could go and
You
take a
gotta
picture
go to
in front of the
Cali.
dunes.
You gotta go to Cali for the experience. Yes, you definitely
Yes.
gotta go. If you like Mexican food, you'll get some authentic Mexican food.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
I want
I
some
like
real
food.
guacamole because going to Mexico is really what got me into guacamole. Because like before, guacamole was just like, I could eat it or not, and it really didn't matter where it came from. But once we went to Mexico and had the authentic guacamole, you that same little store bought guacamole that was doing the job before, it tasted like dirt.
Store bought. You eating store bought guacamole?
That was before I was aware.
Look,
Okay,
I
I had never had authentic, like real Mexican. Okay, like not guacamole.
you don't
I
know
had
till you
authentic,
know. Like,
right? But now that I know, I won't do it no more.
I mean, I went to Philly and had Philly cheesesteak, with the grease on the bag, and I was like, oh, this is a whole new world. It's way different. It's way different from what you get in these restaurants. Like it was not the same. If grease ain't on the bag, it is not a Philly cheesesteak. It's just some steak with some peppers. It is not a Philly cheesesteak. They just calling it that, and that's all I got to say.
I got you. I got you. But I mean, as we said, I mean, not only has Atlanta changed, but the world has changed. And, I mean, we would have to talk, I guess, across the borders or from side to side and see if the change has been the same across the board. You know what I mean? And has it really changed, or are we just older and our tastes are changing?
No, I don't. I wouldn't agree with that because even though yes, I am older and it's no longer my demographic, I am still in touch with the things that go on. Like I'm still in the know. I could still identify because I have cousins who are 23 and 26, and I could get on the phone with them, chop it up just as though they're one of my peers. So I'm still in the know. Shout out to Livermore, yes.
I knew she rushed this and I was like, "Oh, he said the word. Let me aim in on that judge."
I got friends in Livermore.
Mm-hmm. And then he ate that straight out the food truck with his high blood pressure, have himself, and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, see, y'all ain't got food trucks.
Oh goodness.
Boo, y'all ain't got no food trucks. I mean, y'all do. I mean, there are. I'm saying y'all. There are.
Welcome to Atlanta. Yeah, she said y'all.
No, I say y'all all the time, but no, I'm saying as though I don't live here.
Oh.
But there are food trucks, but it's just not the same as.
Yeah, it's not an authentic food truck. It's just like a food service. Like it's just bringing you the fast food on wheels.
Yeah.
They have, well, here, they've started like food truck festivals. Cause like I went to one like a couple weeks ago, I want to say, and I went and got me some Jamaican food, and it was amazing. It was those oxtails. I went for what they always talking about. I was like oxtails.
What hospital you go to?
Oh goodness.
What hospital did you go to? Highland or Sutter? I think that's how. Yeah, that's the name of it. I've been gone for so long.
Oh, that had to be 3 years ago that he went. I knew the name of the hospital, but girl, don't give me the line. I don't remember now. He'll have to do some research and find that out after.
It's only two hospitals in Oakland, so it's either Highland or Sutter.
I'm not even gonna put my mouth on that.
It was one of those.
Okay, very good. I trust you.
If it was Highland, then it was Hood. That's the Grady of Oakland. And then Sutter is like the north side. I won't say Emory, because Emory you get top-notch care
and good food.
Mm.
I mean, my dad was there, so I remember eating there.
Fat ass.
I mean, don't act like we didn't connect over food.
We connected over beer
and food. Lovey is the type, baby. If you ever want Lovey to show up somewhere, it better be about some money or some food.
Better.
And food is a better option. Money she might turn down, but the right meal and a free meal, she'll be there.
Lovey, I'm with you.
Oh my God, what you mean free?
I'm with it.
Free.
It's so bad with me that people know, like, that's the same thing about me. They're like, Justice, I'm having this. We're going to have food. There's going to be free food. And they're going to have wings. And and I'll be like, oh, okay. I see you. I don't even tell them. Like, I don't ask. They just know to tell me.
Exactly.
Right. Don't even ask me. Don't ask me unless you know there's going to be food there. Guarantee. You invite me somewhere? Okay, I know it better be some food. And if it ain't, it's gonna be a problem.
And let me tell you something. Not only better be some food there, it better be ready when you get there.
Yeah, don't ever tell me to get there at 2:00 and the food ain't ready till 4-5. Oh no, I got a problem. It better be some cheese and crackers and salami with some grapes sitting out.
I second that comment.
My mouth better be moving.
Hunted. So Lovey is a what do you want to call it? She's like a showy person. She does this. That's her like events and stuff like that. That's her wheelhouse. So when you say that it starts at 2, she gonna be there at 2:05.
Mhm.
She not gonna come on CP time like when we show up at 2:30, 3 o'clock. No, she gonna show up at 2:05, and at 2:06, she better have something she can eat on. So like early on in our friendship, I'm throwing out times like she black, right? Like, yeah, it's gonna start at 3 o'clock.
Basically, this is what it all boils down to. She's trying to say that I'm not black.
Okay, but you don't roll on CP time. You roll.
What
She
in
roll.
the
She
world?
roll on CP time with a splash of Caucasian. Okay, like not quite 3 o'clock on the dot, but she ain't showing up at 4 like we would.
Well,
Shouldn't
I'm
give me a
showing up at
time.
4.
Exactly.
Shouldn't give me a
Exactly.
time. That's what the time is for.
The
No.
time is like the speed limit. It's a reference point. It's a suggestion. You
Okay, so your
know?
wedding should say like your wedding start at
Okay,
4,
now
so
that's
you want
No,
different.
people to
no, that's
arrive at
different.
5, 6?
That's different,
That's
and
different.
that is different. Like a cookout.
It's
Uh,
it's an event.
no, that's not on the same note. That's not on the same
It's
level.
an event.
Mm-mm.
No,
If it's
Mm-mm.
planned, it's an event.
but it's not on the same level, girl. Don't do that. Cause I'm already here to tell you. Oh, show up late to the wedding if you want to. You better wait for the reception, cause you ain't coming in here. Well, once you hear the music, you late. You might as well go and sit in the car and social distance yourself.
Well, you can't argue with that though, because who shows up to somebody's wedding late? Like,
I mean, I'm
why?
just saying. I'm just saying. I was just using an example.
That's not the same example, honey, because I'm trying to tell you, no, mm-mm, mm-mm, no. And plus the way the venue is set up, if you walk in late,
Everybody gonna see?
you gonna walk into the wedding.
Oh.
So you had to come in and be seated. Period. But nevertheless, and on that note, let me do the black fact. I owe you two because I didn't do it last week. So I'm gonna do 2 black facts. And then I'm gonna do the wrap up. So give me 2 seconds. All right. So first of all, I feel like I did this one, but okay.
You
Elijah
have.
Muhammad, I did. Okay. So am I reading from? Okay, maybe I just didn't put it in the right spot. All right. So we'll do this one. Fannie Lou Hamer, October 6, 1917 to March 14th, 1977.
Yes. It's my 3rd birthday.
Fannie Lou Hamer, voting rights activist, civil rights leader, and philanthropist. Worked for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, SNCC. Helped poor and needy families in her Mississippi community. She was the vice chair of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. She was elected as a National Democratic Party delegate in 1972. She died on March 14th, 1977, and according to the New York Times, none of us would be where we are today had she not been here then. That is Fannie Lou Hamer, black fact number
Mhm.
1, and black fact number 2. Sorry, it's hard when I got this angle going. Francis Chris Welsing, March 18th, 1935 to January 2nd, 2016. American born Afrocentrist, psychiatrist, and author. Believed people of color needed to liberate themselves psychologically from white domination. In 1974, authored The Crest Theory of Color Confrontation and Racism, White Supremacy. That states people of color must gain a better understanding of the behavioral maneuverings of whites in order to avoid being manipulated into a subordinated position. In 1991, wrote the ISIS Papers. Interesting. Keys to the Colors, a collection of 25 essays examining the neurosis of white supremacy. Wrote about melanin theory, a claim that white people are the genetically defective descendants of albino mutants. felt whites strive to maintain a superior social position and manipulate non whites and themselves into thinking that they are a worldwide numerical majority instead of the minority. That is Francis Chris Welsing, and those are your two black facts for the week. So, in closing, thank you, Miss Justice, for coming through with the real estate facts, helping us get a better understanding. That was definitely helpful and greatly appreciated. And thank you for joining us in our conversation about the lovely city, my heart and my home, Atlanta, Georgia.
I was happy to be here. It was a joy with you guys. We had some good conversation.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And as always, Miss Levy, thank you for what you do and for being here. It has been a pleasure to everyone in the comments and those watching on replay. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're not. And we shall see you guys next week. As always, it is the Saturday Sit Down. Have a great week. Bye.
Bye.